Oh. I gotta get that out. Come on. Hello. The Fiat's back in. A whole bunch of parts came in from Germany, of all places. Let's finish the car.
Oh, I'm so awkward.
Let's have a look at what we got for parts. Oil pan gasket. Oh, starter cable. Front and rear brake hoses. Looks like wheel cylinders. I don't know if they're front or rear or not. Front. Oh, this is the ream. Okay, so brake hardware with a T-fitting. Front suspension, like knuckle bushings, and the ream to do those. Brake hardline kit. Aha! Key. Pads. Master cylinder, I assume. Oh, all the wheel bearings with seals. So we pretty much have everything to completely rebuild the brake system, the front suspension. I've got some cable stuff to do. I'm gonna have to make a hood release cable because those are really expensive. But other than that, let's get going. All right, I've got the front wheels off, car up in the air. I'm going to start on the front suspension and brakes. The master cylinder, there's this little guy up here, and you can see the rear line. Whoop, come on, focus. The rear line's already been cut, and you know, there's probably no fluid in it anyway. I imagine the cylinder's bad, yada, yada, yada. So I've got to replace this. I am going to replace these lines as well, the hard lines, because they don't look like they're going to come out here easily. Actually, nothing really looks like it's going to come out of here easily because it's all covered in shmoo. Hard, thick shmoo. So I'm going to do all of that. I also got link pins and bushings. This side is really, really bad, and since I would probably end up having to pull all of this apart anyway to replace that, I'm kind of going to do everything all at once. So I'm going to do the master cylinder first, get all these lines out of here, and then I'm going to start pulling the front apart. I may also get a ratchet strap to attach this thing to the lift, because Maybe it'll be okay. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna start pulling this apart. I'm gonna try to clean the bolts off on this first. So far that is not working very well. It's kind of just make it worse. I'm gonna do a snippy. Okay. All right, I've got this disconnected finally. The feed hose is just this little rubber guy going to this, the hose clamp on it. Ow. Well, there it is. God, I hope I ordered one of these switches. All right, well, before I put the new one in, I'm going to pull the rest of the lines out and get the knuckles off so I can ruin those. So the hard line for the driver's side comes out of the wall up here, kind of comes down and goes into the bracket for the control arm. I got to do a little excavating here. I'm going to end up cutting it anyway because it's definitely clogged, and I've already cut the other end, so it doesn't matter. But I want to try to make the path for the new one as clean as possible so I don't get a whole bunch of trash into the line when I'm installing it. Oh, there's still fluid in that one. And then this should kind of wiggle out of there. There we go. All right, we got that guy off. And then I should be able to or not. Come on. Okay. All right, that side's out. It looks like there's just the through bolt going through the top here, and obviously the tie rod, and then another through bolt going through the bottom here, and that should allow me to take the whole knuckle off. So I'm going to wire brush these, see if I can't get this out without destroying it, and then try to get the whole knuckle off, I guess. Left front and right front. All right, I'm going to start tearing down the left front. The drum's going to get new bearings, new seals and everything. I'm going to place the hose as well, and the wheel cylinder, all the hardware, shoes, everything for the brakes. And then I've got to figure out how to take this guy apart so I can replace that pin and the bushings that go in here, and ream those as well. Everything here looks pretty scongy, so while I have it apart, I'll probably also wire brush and paint everything that I can, and then slap it all back together. Come on. Okay, well, I'm gonna let that cool. That was super easy. Okay, it's another day. I'm continuing on the Fiat. I'm gonna try to air hammer the pin out of here, but the air hammer is really loud, so I'll probably put music over this or something. Cover your ears. Oh, that's interesting. Is that a cap? Well, it's coming out. Got it. Well, it was really just a cap on the end. Glad I hammered the hell out of that. Now this should just sneak out of here. Great. All right, well, now that I've got this completely disassembled, I'm gonna clean both of them up. I gotta get the bushings out of here, and then I'm gonna paint both of these pieces, and then we'll reassemble it, hopefully. All right, so I've got the knuckle cleaned up, and you can see in here that bushing that I've got to take out, and there's another one up on this side as well. So I'm going to get to work trying to get these guys out of here. This is going to be just like doing the link pins on the VWs. So once I get these in, I'm going to have to run a ream through to kind of true everything up, and then I can assemble everything. I think I'm actually going to paint it when everything's all back together, just to, you know, keep color consistency and whatever, and it makes it a little bit easier to assemble everything when there isn't sticky ass paint all over stuff. So let me get those out, and then when I'm ready to put them in, I'll show you how to struggle doing that. When I did the top one, I made the mistake of using a socket that had a beveled edge, and it fit into the thing, and it mushroomed the hell out of it. So now what I'm gonna do, I gotta get another extension, but we're just gonna put this new socket up here and then get an extension down in there and hope for the best. If it mushrooms, it mushrooms. I got a feeling it's probably gonna mushroom, because that's what they do. Just keep it as straight as possible. Take the mini Tanya Harding, I love this thing, and then just do a couple little tippy tappies just to get it straightened out, and then it should it's going a lot better than the last one. Almost doing to get it nice and flush with the knuckle. Okay. And then what I've been doing is just kind of filing the top of this to get it as flat as I can. Now, you can take my the ream that I got, which looks very different compared to the one I got for VW stuff. This does not appear to do both sides, both ends at the same time. So I guess all I can do is hook it up to a thing and oil it up and hope for the best. Because that kind of already goes through there, which is weird. Is this adjustable? I'm so confused. The end's got to be sorted out. All right, I got to figure out how this ream works, and then we can try to do the things. So I think I got this figured out. This is actually an adjustable ream. And the way it adjusts, God, I hope I can get this tight enough. The way it adjusts is moving these two collars up and down. The grooves that the blades ride in is deeper at this end than it is here, so it's sloped. And as the collars move the blades up and down, the blades spread out as they get to the shallow part compared to the deep part. So I've kind of taken a rough measurement up here. I've set these still a little bit wider, no, smaller than the pins, just to make sure that it will cut and I don't screw it up. So I'm going to make a practice cut and then I'll widen these out a little tiny baby bit until the pins fit in. So I'm just going to put this on, spray some PB Blast in there, and try to make a cut. Or at least that's the plan. Oh, that's a lot. Boy, I hope I measured this right. As I've said many times before, I am not a machinist and probably really shouldn't be doing this, but for your viewing pleasure, I am anyway. All right, so I've got them both reamed out. Pin fits very nicely. Not a ton of play in it or anything. So now I can leave this alone. I've got to get the spindle and get that ready to be installed in here. So I'm gonna go grab that and set that up in the vise, and then we can start assembling. All right, so this is my spindle. This is going to go through a hole in here, and as you can see, the pins have this little cutout here, which I assume is for this roll pin that goes all the way through that I totally neglected to take out because I didn't know it was a thing. So before I can start installing this into the carrier, I got to get this roll pin out and you know, clean up everything and get washers ready and what have you. So I'm going to try to tap this guy out and then see, yeah, because it came with pins. And then we can, ow. Okay, getting a larger punch. And you can see where I just totally ate a side of this out from punching the old pin. So now that I have that out, I got to figure out all the orientation and everything and where all of these guys go. I think there are things in this kit that don't necessarily belong to a Fiat 500. I think this was kind of a universal kit for these and 126s and a couple of other things. So let me get my bearings, no pun intended, kind of situated over here, get all the parts cleaned again, and then we can start trying to assemble this. All right, in my confusion and haste, I forgot to film some of what I'm doing. So I have on the top of this guy an O-ring around one of these guys, and then beneath it one of these, because that was the only way it was going to fit. Now I'm fighting to get the pin in. Okay, she's going. There we go. All right, so that's where that needs to be, and now I need to put the roll pin tapered side in. And that appears to be it. Moves very nice. We'll grease it up. I'm gonna paint this, and while it's drying, I'll do the other one, and then I don't even remember what's supposed to happen after that. So hold on, let me. All right, it's another day. I got some parts in for the Fiat, including bushings. I'm going to press those into the knuckles. I've already got one of them. I've already got one of them back together. I've still got to do this one. Once I get these in, then we can actually start reassembling the front. I also got front shocks. Actually, I got all 4 shocks. So once I get those together, we can start buttoning that back up. I got the master cylinder and the front hard lines in. So once I get the front end back together, I can take the car off. I can run the front to rear line, and then it'll go back on the lift, and I can do the rear end. I might do the rear end first before I take, the whole thing apart. Yeah, so I'm gonna do these things. Once I actually start reassembling everything, I'll get you back in there to see the stuff. In the meantime, if you know that a dog doesn't like men, don't put your f***ing face near its mouth. Okay, all right. Got the front end back together, spindles on, painted and pretty, and new brake hoses with new lines, and the new master. I'm gonna steal the switch off the other one. I'm pretty sure. Whoop! I gotta steal the switch off the other one. I'm pretty sure that's still working. Now I gotta get this off the lift and run the new hard line from the master to the rear of the car. It's gonna come out kind of here-ish, I believe, and then I got a new T-fitting to go here. And I'm gonna put it back on the lift after that and do all of this crap back here. Soft lines, hard lines, yada, 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 and then do the rear brakes. I also have to run the choke cable. That'll be fun. I'm gonna try to do all of that while it's on the ground so that I don't have to put it up 4 times. So let me get this off the lift and start running that front to rear line, and then we can have a look at what the rear wheels look like. All right, it's a few days later. I've got the Fiat back up on the lift. I tried to, oh, that's on the screen. I tried to do the ignition switch and got so irritated that I had to stop for a couple of days because, good Lord, I cannot figure it out. Prior to that, I did run the front to rear brake line. So I've got to bend it up, get it connected to the master cylinder in the front, and then put the T-fitting in the rear. I'm gonna pull the wheels off and see if it's worth struggling to do the hard lines in the rear. I really should do them anyway because it's just a good idea to start with a whole fresh, clean system. But I am interested to see what the rear brakes look like on this compared to the front, because the shoes, as far as I can tell from front to rear, are exactly the same. And there doesn't appear to be any kind of adjustment to, adjust them to the shoe. So like one of my front wheels is dragging a little bit right now, and I can't, there's no adjustment. There's no star adjuster. There's not even like a spring clip retainer to keep the shoe in place. It just like sits on a peg, and that's it. So I'm gonna get it up in the air a little bit and do the front line to the master, and then I'll bring you into the back to pull the wheels off and see what's going on back there. All right, so I've got the lines all done up front. I've still got to get a switch in that guy. All these are tight. So back here, I've got the T-fitting. This is the line coming in from the front. I've got to do the passenger side and the driver's side. This bolt, I'm sure, is going to get sucked out of all this metal, so I'm probably going to end up replacing that, but it's holding for right now. I'm going to take the rear wheels off and have a look at the brakes, and then start pulling all of this crap out to try to get the brakes done. Okay, so this is interesting. It looks like the drum is actually bolted onto the hub. I'm going to take these off in a second to see what's back here. Luckily, this hard line, the second hard line between the soft line and the other hard line that goes to the T-fitting, actually looks really good. And it also looks like a royal pain in the ass to bend. So I'm probably going to leave this in here. What I'll do, because I'm going to end up undoing it from the wheel cylinder and from the hose, is just blow some air through it and make sure that it's clear. And then replace the hose, replace that hard line, and then do everything in the wheel. And then that should be it. Put a switch up front and try to bleed the system and see what happens. Like I was saying, there's no adjustments. And I thought for a moment that this crossbar had come undone, because normally in most cars in the rear there's a crossbar with a spring and yada yada, that's part of the parking brake. And this one isn't. That is actually attached to the parking brake lever that goes through the backing plate and hooks onto that. I wonder if I can operate this without it falling apart, but oh yeah, see, and then it comes off the thing and out of the, well, I guess I gotta take it apart anyway, but yeah, so new shoes, new springs, new wheel cylinder, and then do the lines and hook everything up, and then you know, other side, rinse and repeat. All right, now to do the other side. All right, I've got all the bits and pieces back where they need to be. I'm gonna add some fluid here, and then I'm gonna go around and open up the all the bleeders and try to let it gravity bleed for a bit while I clean the shop and see what that does. So it it gravity bled a lot quicker than I thought it would, so I pressed on the pedal, and so far I only have one leak. So I'm going to tighten this up and see what the pedal does. I'm sure I'll actually have to like bleed it, but I think doing this might actually shorten that process. So let me tighten this up and try it again. All right, I've already done the other three wheels. I think I finally figured out, after 2 years of having this stupid contraption, how it works. So I'm gonna do this one here, and then we'll try the pedal again and see what happens. Oh, come on. Okay, simmer down. I don't like this. This car's very light. That's the clutch. That's the brake. I think I have a brake pedal. Neat. Okay. Well. Cool. Well, I think I'm going to end up splitting this into 2 episodes. I'm going to end this one here. Next time, I'm going to do the rear shocks, maybe the oil pan gasket. I'd really love to figure out how to do the ignition switch. I may be too annoyed to actually film that. There's a couple of other little things, like, you know, getting the horn and making all the lights work and everything. And then road test, like actual proper road test and not just like around the block. At which point our buddy Jeff at Ideal Grain will detail it again, and then she'll go up for sale. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a like, leave a comment, share with your friends, and I'll see you at the next one.